Welcome to The Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I know that you guys have seen this video going around, and if you haven't, I am going to alert you to it so that you can go Google it and go watch it. Long story short, the video shows an older white gentleman, and it looks like he possibly is with his wife. He is in a verbal altercation with an older black gentleman. And he then uses the N-word. I don't know what possessed him to do that. But he basically was talking at the guy. It was an aggressive conversation and used the N-word towards the black man. The black man decided that was not gonna go down and he literally slapped this man, not punched him. It was an open slap. Repeatedly, this guy kept just coming at him and kept on saying, and the guy was like, if you say it again, that is not something that you, it was just unbelievable. And apparently it happened in an Applebee's in Sumter, South Carolina, I believe. If you know the South or from the South or live in the South, such as I, well, I'm not from the South, I'm from New York, but for those who may be new tuning in, I have lived in the South for almost 10 years. And I want to tell you something. The things that I have seen are just shocking. The levels of racism, and I've seen racism in so many different things. Going to a predominantly white college, upstate New York, outside of Syracuse, you see a lot of things, and there was a lot of learning curves that had to happen. You're going to see a whole lot of stuff. But the things that I have seen in the South, and when I say the South, I mean, I'm in the Atlanta metro area, so it's not as prevalent in the city of Atlanta and the Atlanta metro area. But once you go outside of that, once you go South Georgia along the border of Florida and these type of places, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to see. You don't know who's going to try you. We dealt with seeing Ahmaud Arbery losing his life jogging in his own neighborhood. And that area is notoriously racist. You're not going to walk around and talk reckless to people and think that it's okay. Yes, there's been a lot of argument back and forth. And actually, there's been quite a few people that were just like, even white people that were like, oh my God, this guy had it coming, all of this. But there's also the bubbling up of freedom of speech. And yes, absolutely, you have freedom of speech. But let me also throw another caveat in there. Yes, freedom of speech is alive and well. You can say whatever you want. You can mouth off however you want. Especially in this country, you can pretty much say anything. But that does not mean that it is free from consequences. And I think that's where people get tripped up, is that they think they can just bowl through and just say whatever they want, do whatever they want, because it's their right, but they don't think that there's consequences to it. So just remember that before you say something stupid, before you do something asinine, make sure that you are prepared for the backlash. In this case, the back slap, because that guy had several. And I'm telling you, it was, the pain that comes behind the word. And I'm trying to censor it because I don't know how the podcast company will deal with it. So the pain as a black person in America and anywhere in the world, quite frankly, of the origins of the N-word. And how deep that runs. And to be in the South, Sumter, South Carolina, which is, to experience that, I just know, I don't know this black man from anywhere in the world, but I just know that was pain for him to be subjected and embarrassed and degraded in front of a restaurant where there were people sitting and eating. And the thing is, when the white guy said it, you heard a collective, oh, like this is going to be problems. You know what I mean? White people, black people, servers, everybody had the collective, oh, like, oh my gosh. And you pretty much knew how it was going to go from there. And it's just shocking to me that people really believe that they can just walk around and say whatever they want. And you can. I'm not even going to tell you that you can't. You can. But just be prepared for the backlash. Be prepared for the response. Because with an action, there is going to be a reaction. And you may catch the wrong person on the wrong day. And that's exactly what happened to this guy. You are taking a word that has such deep, heated roots of pain and degradation and humiliation, and it draws up so many things, lynchings and castrations and slavery and all sorts of stuff. Like, why would you think that would be okay to say to a black man, to anyone? Why would you think that would be okay? And I also flipping the coin, because I've heard a lot of white people say, well, black people say the word all the time, and black people, they say it in rap songs, and this, that, and the other. Let me just give you my personal take on that. As much as I absolutely love my black community and our music and culturally hip hop and rap and all of that, I grew up on hip hop, rap, R&B, gospel. That's what I grew up. I do not like when black men or even brown men refer to each other by the N-word. That's not my favorite thing in life at all. I'll be honest. It's not. It really isn't. I think that we need to get past that. I understand the colloquialism that goes with that, and that was kind of a tongue twister word there. I get that, and the taking back of the power of the word and, all that. And is it an A at the end, or is it an ER, or, I'm not even going to get in all that debate. No, I don't enjoy the word. I don't, in any form. I really don't. I understand the impact of it when it's said amongst community people who actually, I don't even want to say term of endearment, because I think that's just taking that too far. But that is my personal opinion on that. I'm not a fan. But for someone to do that, it is the equivalent of like you checking a child. It was used by white men to check black men, to put them in their place. Black people in general, but especially black men. We just recently saw the resurgence of the Emmett Till story, things like that, where he was accused of whistling at a woman. Let's say he actually did that. Do you think that the punishment that he got was deserved? And I'm not about anybody disrespecting anybody's girlfriend, wife, or whatever the case may be. But this child, because he was a child, he was 14 years old, literally got his entire face ripped off. And that's pretty much, that's being mild. To hear his mother describe what she saw. You know, we only see the black and white photos, but I can't imagine even seeing that in color, where your child's eye is outside of its socket and a machete cut down the middle of their scalp. And I'm saying it this way because that is what happened, because the whistling of whatever, they think he whistled at a white girl or whatever the case may be, however that story went. It's just a shame. And I want to say that woman who accused him is still alive today and has admitted that no such thing even went down. I believe that was the story. But you know what? Like I said, consequences, for every action, there's a reaction. So while there is freedom of speech, you're not free from the consequences that come from acting the fool. And this guy, I'm sure he will think twice. It may not change him at all. He may just be like, whatever, just another, whatever. It may just be another situation for him. I don't know. But I would think that he would want to think twice before he comes out of his face like that again. And I do not support violence in any kind of way. But sometimes when you push people to the edge and you don't know what they've dealt with in their life, because that guy, he received that horrible word in such a place of pain. It was unbelievable. And who knows what he has dealt with in his life. Because when a reaction comes back at you like that, it's more than just that situation. So I hope that the guy who hurled that horrible racist rant that he went on, I hope that he will learn his lesson, and I hope that brother can find some type of peace, because I'm telling you, it came from a place of pain, and no one should have to experience that type of pain. Emotional pain, that was emotional abuse that brother experienced. And his reaction to it definitely spoke volumes to what he has probably dealt with in his life. So I just wanted to kind of talk about, I know I have white listeners, I have black listeners, I have Latino listeners, I have listeners literally all over the world in different countries. And I'm thankful for all of you. I really am. But these are things that we have to talk about, because racism doesn't just exist here in the U.S. The UK talks about it. You have black people in the UK who talk about it. Even white people in the UK that says, oh yes, there's definitely racism here. So it's everywhere. It's everywhere to a certain degree. But like I said, I think my podcast the day before this, or a couple days back, I'm tired of y'all. I'm not even joking. And this just proves my point of my last podcast. When I say y'all, I mean the world in general. We have to do better. We have got to do better. But I just wanted to mention it. It was Sumter. If you Google Applebee's racist, or, however you want to Google it, Sumter, South Carolina, you will see the video. And, I usually don't encourage, bringing up, these type of fight videos and things like that. But you really need to watch this video and understand how painful something like that could be to do to someone, to call them out their name like a child, and then you did not expect there to be repercussions? I mean, come on. It just don't make sense. So I hope that brother can find peace. I don't know if he is going to go through any type of reprimand for this. I have no idea. The video cuts off with everybody kind of just, walking off and, that kind of thing. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But, if the brother does have to answer for the physical part of the altercation, I hope that he has great representation, to help him through that. Because I could tell just by how everything went down that was very personal for him and very hurtful. And you can only push people but so far, because it's a very triggering video. So if you feel like it's going to trigger you, I don't want to trigger any violence, but I want people to understand how painful something like that can be. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Let's be more kind to one another, honestly. It's so needed. We have lost literally hundreds of thousands of people all over the world to this crazy virus, and we're going to lose more because that's just, how life works, among all the other things that we deal with outside of the virus. Let's be better to one another, honestly. That's all I got. Like, share, subscribe. I love when you guys tag me to let me know that you're tuning in and you're listening. I greatly appreciate it. I think my next podcast will be kind of a shout out to all of the countries and cities that are listening. I'll probably do like an in-depth review of who's tuning in and where they're tuning in from. And yes, so follow me on Instagram at Onyx Queen Media, and you can email me your topics that you would like me to cover on this podcast. Send an email to hello@onyxqueenmedia.com. Bye, you guys. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.